Hey guys and ladies, this is Scott Marker. This is Ask an MMA Ref series for Submissions 101. This is your opportunity to ask a person, myself, that's been refereeing for years and years and years and refereed hundreds of MMA matches, what questions you have on what goes through an MMA official's mind inside and outside the cage. Well, here's my feelings is my number one goal is to keep safety of the fighters. That's number one priority, number one. I don't care about the booing of the fans, I don't care about the promoters, I don't care about the corner, right? Keeping them safe. So if I think a fighter is taking too much damage, I will stop the fight. Intelligently defending yourself, what does that mean, right? Well, for example, a lot of times people will question if you stop the fight or not, but we are, as an official, as a referee, a lot of times I'm looking right there at the fighter's face, right? I'm looking at expressions of, is the person look really like they're in trouble? Is the person look like they're not even home, right? A lot of that is taken into consideration. And then, are their hands trapped behind their back, right? You got to intelligently defend yourself. Well, if your hands are trapped behind your back and you're taking shot after shot, right? That's not intelligently defending yourself. Well, here's another thing too, is intelligently defend yourself at all times. A lot of times, I'll have a fighter where, and I did years ago, a specific example where he got rocked and went down and the guy came in and just rocked him again, and for that specific second, he was out. His hands were dropped. He was not at home. When I stood him up, he was even a little bit out of it. So that specific second, he was not able to intelligently defend himself. But within 15, 30 seconds he gets up, he starts kind of bouncing around and he thinks, right, now his corner's even thinking, well, why did you stop the fight? Well, because my job is to keep him safe. And at that specific second, he was getting rocked and starting to get really hurt. So I have to stop the fight. I can't give him 15 seconds of getting severely hurt. So as soon as I see that they're not intelligently defending themselves, I'm going to stop the fight. But one little caveat here, I had two fighters a couple months ago, and one fighter was on top of the other fighter and threw like 20, 30 punches. The person was mounted, right? And I even had somebody say, wow, why didn't you stop the fight? And they went on and on, because it isn't the quantity of punches, it's the effectiveness of punches. The person had on the bottom was intelligently defending themselves, bucking, keeping the hands on the person on top was just doing a good job. But the person on top was just throwing a whole bunch of just slaps to see if I'd stop the fight. And I didn't stop it because they weren't doing enough damage to hurt the person. And even after the fight, both fighters jumped up and there wasn't even a mark on the other person. So again, I'm right there as a referee looking at it and judging it, going, I'm not gonna stop the fight. You're not doing any damage, and the person's defending themselves. Well, probably I was thinking there's been several, but one that I just kind of chuckle at was a couple years back. There was a couple fighters, and the one guy was dressed down, ready to go, and the other guy, his opponent, he took a look at him, and his opponent's a real short, hugely stocky guy. And once the guy kind of saw him, once he was dressed down with his gloves on, and he's very intimidating looking, the other opponent left the building, just walked out of the building with his gloves on. So everybody was looking for the person. They said, well, he just started walking out the door, and we're wondering, what's he doing? Well, he didn't want to fight his opponent. So that's probably one of the strangest things I've seen was, the fighter just kind of walked out of the building. So I thought that, there's been other ones, but that one just kind of comes as kind of humorous to me. And the other person's very tough too, but that was humorous and funny. Yes, that's happened. They really watch that now, but two different times it happened. One time when I wasn't there and officiating, refereeing, and I guess somebody's won the fight, knocked the other guy out, and he was down, the winner was down, praying to God for the win, and everyone's rushing in the ring all excited, and in came the guy that was knocked out's dad came in and actually struck the winner. So security guards were all over my guess and stuff. So yes, that has happened. And then boy, about a year later, I was talking, one of the largest venues I'm at has super good security, and one of the officials, the big guy, goes, "That would never happen if I was here." And 2 fights later, a dad, one guy wouldn't stop hitting the other guy, so I had to pull him off, and a dad of the son that was getting hit after I said stop, come rushing in the ring, and I'll tell you, the securities, he made it about a foot in the ring, and the security was all over him and drug him clear back out and onto the floor. And so yes, people have come in the ring before, but they watch that more than ever because people get excited and stuff like that. So you got to be careful. So you know, I've done hundreds of fights, and there's the, you know, one time it's happened to me. So it just doesn't happen very often. The security's really good anymore, but security does watch for that, making sure you're authorized to be in the ring.